Hey everyone, I wanted to make a video about something I call the void. The void is something that anyone can access, and I talk about it a lot, and I call it that. It's my word for it, but not many people know what I'm talking about when I say the void. So I wanted to try to explain it to the best of my ability because it's something that's really hard to explain. It's a lot of things, and it isn't everything that we know. So the void to me is the edge of what's definable by language that we speak. So dreams would be in the void because dreams use symbol, right? It uses a different language. This is also different side of your brain. I think that symbol is on the right side of your brain, and typically language is on the left side. Right, yeah, because most people talk with their right hand because the right ear, for some reason, it's faster to go to the left side of the brain because it's connected to that side. I don't know why the brain's upside down. I really don't understand that, but that's that's a whole different topic. All right, so getting into the void, I want to get into this, like try to stay in topic. The void, in a way, is chaos. It doesn't mean that there's not anything that can be taken from the void that's useful. All things new have to come from the void. Anything new. Paradigm shifts, things like that. And potentially there's infinite number of paradigm shifts that are in the void, in my opinion. Some people don't believe that. Some people think that, like, you can only discover things that line up with what's already been known. But as we've seen time and time again, like, paradigm shifts happened that have changed the whole entire view of reality. And this has happened over and over and over again. It's not impossible. You can make your own reality if you can tap into this place. Potentially. It's a collective shared reality because we're all a part of it, right? But that's the cool thing about it. Like, all you have to do is, like, if you don't believe in the Big Bang, get a bigger telescope, one that can see further away, and look for your giant galaxies that are as old as the Milky Way, and just shows that the universe has been expanding forever. If that's what you wanted to look, I mean, you might not get what you're looking for. This is another thing about the void. Like, you can pull things from the void, and you can look for something that the way that you're looking for something, I call those totems or patterns. So totems or patterns tend to manifest something because you're using logic to find something in the chaos, right? So you assume that if you get a bigger telescope, you're going to see something. Or you're not just going to see, like, triangles and stuff like that out there. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? But like, it's got to fit the pattern. You got a pattern in your mind of what is going to be found. So therefore, you're using logic to narrow your search in this chaotic, like, unknown place, right? I'm trying to think. So the void also could be like ghost hunting, like, you know, listening to static, and trying to hear patterns in the static. Or I have an example. I'm gonna show you a drawing. This is how to tap into the void. This is what the void is. This is what scrying is. Scrying is tapping into the static part of the void and pulling things out of that. And I'm gonna show you how to do that. So this is okay. So has anyone seen a show called The Black Mirror? So the Black Mirror is exactly kind of what this is. It's scrying. Like the old alchemists and wizards and witches were known for scrying on paper, and or they would look into a mirror that was made of obsidian or onyx or something like that. I think onyx, because onyx has those white speckles in it, and you want the chaos. You want the dark and light spots, because the contrast between the dark and light is what you scry into. And you know, and you can look into this, and you can notice certain shapes, certain things that stand out, and then like if you pay attention to them and you focus on them, they'll hone in and they'll sharpen, right? But then if you let that go, and just let that erase, but let your mind erase it, and then look for something new, and then that kind of that thought and that shape transforms and it shifts into a new area. And if you go back and you try to look for the one that you were just looking at, you can still find it, but you can also see new things. If you can keep the two different views in tandem, this is called superposition, and this is a superposition of symbol. And this is important whenever shifting realities, because you have to keep this is the schizophrenia of our time. But if you can keep a double memory of an event that you can see in two different perspectives, then you can see things with ambiguity, or there's another word. I was like, I had the word. It begins with, it's another A word too. So. Oh well, yeah, I'm not gonna get sidetracked. Okay, yeah, ambiguity works too. Anyways, you can ascertain, and you can make it one or the other. If you're skillful, you can make it both. But in order to make it both, you have to kind of change the way you do it. And let me get an example here. Okay, here's what I did over here. So yeah, so here we go. So here you might see like trees growing, like vegetation blooming, and I saw like two different visions in this. One is beautiful, and it's like the sun rising off in the distance with the cloud, and like beams shining over like a grass field with the wind blowing. The other one is like a nuclear bomb detonating, and like the vacuum field is like sucking all of the leaves off the trees into it. And it's like everything's on fire, and it's ripping the flesh off of a person. So yeah, that's ambiguity. That's hard to do. But it's also easy to do. It's easy to do, but it's hard to do. If you can see both, then you can yeah, you can do both. The back is another, it's the same thing. I just wanted to try to do it again and see if it came out differently. Oh, that's neat. Well, let me focus on it. Now I see like a goat with one eye. Cool. Get a pencil here. Okay. So each one of these pieces of paper is, is new, and they all have different kind of like press marks on them. So what you can do is you can like, I don't know, just kind of start pulling things out of the chaos. So eventually you end up with a full thing, and like each one's different, and each one like kind of turns out in its own way. But this is the one I did fully, and just, I don't know, I just kind of went with the lines on it. It doesn't really have any kind of, I think I did it this way. It doesn't have any like set kind of goal in mind. It was just, following these dark and light spots that are on here. Oh, it's even different when you hold it in the light. Cool. I mean, you can kind of see where I traced the lines in there. I'll do the other side. No, but that looks cool too. So anyways, this is scrying and then creating a scry board with the scry. So this is harder. This is a little bit, it's not hard actually. It's a skill. That's all it is. So if you get good at this, what you can do with these, and this is what I like to do with them, is to look for patterns now in this. So this is a double layer. So like don't really make patterns in it, or give this to someone else and then tell them to look for patterns in it. Like try to find like words or numbers or like things like that. And that's scrying in the chaos. This is in symbol. This is in the language of what's not defined, and that's why it's hard to talk about, because you're talking about something that's not describable, ineffable in many ways, and I use that word ineffable because that's essentially what it is. It's like an LSD trip. You can't put that into language to explain that to someone that's never done it before. Right? You can't explain to someone how it feels whenever you remote view something and it's correct. That feeling that you get, you can't explain it. But that part of your brain that can remote view uses symbol in the same way. And I know this for a fact because every time I've done it and someone remote, they try to send something to me, it'll come back similar. I've gotten a few of them right, easy ones like smiley faces, stars, triangles, stuff like that. That's easy stuff, right? But like, I don't know, when you're drawing complex shapes like buildings and thing, or like doors and windows, and it can come back as like multiple buildings, and the sun and the porch, the sun can be a porch light, but the symbol of the meaning of the things will still represent the same thing. So like the building will be in the spot where the door is, the sun will be in the spot where the porch light is, and the other building will be the window, and then the man walking on the street is actually on the sidewalk going up to the door. But I mean, it's the same image. Like if you looked at it, you would know it was the same, but you wouldn't, like you couldn't explain that to it's like a dream interpretation of something. Like a bell is like an angel, right? Like a Christmas angel, right? Like and these are real examples of remote views that I've gotten correct, or like other people have gotten correctly. So they're factual examples. Factual, and you can't use the word factual in the void because there's nothing factual in the void. It's just it's constantly shifting. But there are things that are constant. I take that back. So there are things that are constant in the void, but once they become constant, they're no longer in the void. Does that make sense? Like, okay, so like we used to think that the earth was the center of the universe, right? And then like God, and like the universe is only as big as like the earth. And outside of the earth was the void. There was like the whole firmament, right? And the firmament had the angels and the ethers and all these different things. Well, as soon as like I forget who it was like the first one. There were like a few different ones that like theorized that it was possible, there was this whole different field. But then like when it became fact, now the void, it didn't get any smaller. It just, what was factual in our understanding grew. But the void still is infinite. The void is always infinite. So it doesn't get any smaller by us, expanding into it. And that's the nature of God. Like God never gets smaller. Like even if we understand more about the universe, God never gets smaller. And this is like, kind of empowering that fact, because there's always new. Like every question answered asks like 10 more questions. So it's just like there's constantly these doors that are open. We're always going through doors, no matter if we're opening them or choosing to find a key or trying to make a key or whatever. We're constantly going through doors, even by not choosing a door. We're choosing the door of not choosing a door. So there, and then that door opens 10 more doors. It's like there's never an end to it. There's never an end to it, and there's always more to learn. So like understanding remote viewing, I'm sure there's a logical explanation for it, and I really want to do something about, like, do a study or something to understand scientifically how that works, because I want it to stick. There are things that can come from the void and they can stick, and I love it when that happens because it's repeatable at that point. And like when it's repeatable and it's understood, now it can enter a whole new paradigm shift in reality, in humanity, and like we can apply this to how we can improve the world, and that's kind of something like understanding technology. It'd be great to understand remote viewing because we could teach this, we could learn it, like we could all be psychics, and like it wouldn't be so bad because it would be like the next level. We're already on the precipice, and all these things kind of happen in synchronistically, which I think is another thing about the void, but I'm not 100% sure if it's always like that. It's just there's so many theories, and every theory that I have, this is the thing about the doors, like you look through a door, so be careful on which door you knock, because whatever you look for, whatever door you knock on, you'll find what you're looking for or something in line with what you're looking for. That doesn't mean that you'll find exactly what you're looking for, but you'll find something in line with what you're looking for. So that's the key to knocking and asking, you shall receive, and like, seek and you shall find, that kind of thing. So if you're a hypochondriac, it might not be good for you to know this, because Well, it might be good for you to know just so you don't knock on the doors that you don't want. But you have to be aware that you are a hypochondriac and that you're seeking answers for problems that don't exist. And if your problems are in the void, right? If your problems don't exist because they're in the void, like you're not 100% sure, anything that you're not 100% sure on, technically exists in the void. And this includes medical diagnoses. This includes, like, I'm gonna get so much crap for this, but yeah, medical diagnoses. It includes past situations and memories that you've forgotten. It includes the future not yet written, and even the fabric of your own current reality, if it's not remembered. I mean, it doesn't have to be, if you're outside of your own reality in a space of like deep meditation, you can move between realities, and that's not something that I can easily teach, because to be aware of it, you have to be able to remember after you've forgotten, and that is a paradox, because memory is fallible. Yeah. Valuable. No, valuable is different. It is memory is valuable, and it's also fallible. Right. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna pause this.